Welcome back, everybody, to PDSN, where we cut through the hype and the talk about what's actually happening in the tech sovereignty world and the future of digital power. And today, Gary Marcus just said the thing we've been saying all week. The economics of AI have flipped. The West overspent, China undercut the entire industry. And now the whole game is changing. Let's get into it, shall we? For, for the last year, Silicon Valley has been obsessed with one thing: scale, scale, scale. More GPUs, bigger clusters, trillions of parameters, models, data centers, and the size of small cities. That's what they are. But here's the problem. The economy never made sense. The cost of training frontier models skyrocketed while the performance gains flattened out. We've been calling this out for days. The scaling curve is bending and the returns are shrinking. And now Gary Marcus is confirming it. Marcus, Professor Emeritus at NYU, called the AI scaling race the greatest capital miscalculation in history. Not a small statement. He's saying the quiet part out loud. The West burned trillions chasing bigger models with sustainable business model behind them. Sustainable business model behind them. No sustainable business model behind them. But he didn't stop there. He said the economics of AI are shifting, and the shift is opening the door for cheaper Chinese models to take over. Exactly what we've been tracking. The West scaling bubble. Let's break down why Marcus is right. AI, Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, they are all in on frontier scaling, massive compute, massive energy, massive costs. But here's the kicker: performance gaps between closed and open models are collapsing and almost zero. We're talking a 0.03% difference on benchmarks. So you've got trillions of dollar companies spending billions to stay ahead by less than a rounding error. That's the bubble Marcus is talking about. While the West is burning money, China was doing the same thing. Same thing, else entirely. So DeepSeek trained R1 for $6 million. Qwen now dominates global download. Chinese labs embrace a mixture of exports to slash compute, and they release open weight, letting anyone run the model locally. DeepSeek V4 Flash costs 14 cents per million tokens, while OpenAI charges $5. Anthropic charges $3. That's not a competition. That's a price war on the West. Can't win. And the startups are already switching. Lindy moved workload from Anthropic to DeepSeek to save millions. This is the economic flip Marcus is talking about. Marcus also points out something we've been hammering: open source is where the real invitation is happening. Closed models are expensive, locked down, and slow to iterate. Open models are cheap, flexible, and improving at breakneck speed. And guess who's leading the open source wave? Not the US, not Europe, it's China. And this is the part nobody in the West wants to admit. Now let's talk about the part Marcus didn't say, but his logic leads straight to it. If Chinese models are cheaper, open weight, competitive, and widely adopted, the countries like Canada are going to face brutal choices. Pay premium prices for US closed models, or adopt cheap Chinese open models, or build sovereign domestic AI capability. This is the sovereign crisis we've been warning about. The economics don't just change the market, they change the geopolitical balance. Marcus ends with something important. He says that we're still in the early days of AI, and he's right. Transformers aren't the final form. Scaling isn't the end game. We're in the pre-Cambrian era of AI architecture. Next breakthrough won't come from stacking more GPUs. They'll come from designing new structures and new approaches. This is the moment to rethink everything. So here's the bottom line. Gary Marcus just validated everything we've been tracking all week. The economists flipped, the West overspent, China undercut the market, and the source is rising. And the next era will be defined by architecture, not brute force. This is the moment where the narrative finally lines up with the evidence. And if Canada wants sovereignty in the new world, we need to build, not buy.